The Justin Robert Young podcast, brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at payjurydaily.com. You want to be a part of the show? You want to make sure the show keeps going? It is time for the giving to the Patreon that you know feeds this show. payjurydaily.com. A musical episode coming your way. But enough of talking about how we support the show. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say we just have that damn thing? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the JuRY Daily Show. This one's for the old heads. If you've been a long-time listener to this show, then you know that there is one song that has dominated our conversation over the holiday season. I think we've been doing these episodes since I first moved to the Bay Area. I remember distinctly a show that I did off a laptop in the first room that I ever moved into, Tom Merritt's old apartment, which is now a room for not one but two children, which shows you how fast things move in where Brett Rounsaville, his wife, and now two kids live. But I remember talking about Baby It's Cold Outside, even then, and I was pretty antagonistic about it. I was pretty, hey, maybe we should be thinking about how weird this song is. Maybe this song is a relic of a bygone era. Well, I'm telling you that 2018, this version of that show is going to be a little bit different. Friends, I am coming to the defense of Baby It's Cold Outside, because although I do find it to be a very interesting conversation about this song and about where it came from, about why it sounds foreign and strange to our ears, which I think is by and large a fairly uplifting, enlightening, and engaging conversation, where I stop is what's happening right now. Folks, all around not only our country of the United States of America, but around the world, we are witnessing something that I think is a absolute doggone shame. This song is banned from radio stations. Here's a USA Today article. Across the country, radio stations and their listeners continue to debate what should be done about the 1944 Christmas song, Baby It's Cold Outside. The tune made headlines this weekend when Cleveland radio station WDOK announced that it would cease playing the song after some listeners complained that its lyrics hadn't aged well in the Me Too movement. And now radio stations across the United States are beginning to follow suit. The station here in San Francisco, 96.5 KOIT, banned Baby It's Cold Outside on Monday, citing the Cleveland station's decision and the feedback from its own listeners. Radio station KOSI 101.1 in Colorado, marketed as Denver's holiday station, originally pulled the song due to listener complaints, but has since reversed its decision, according to a press release from the station Tuesday, after a poll with over 15,000 responses found listeners to be overwhelmingly in support of the song. And meanwhile, CBC Radio said that the song would officially be removed Tuesday at midnight with no plans to play it going forward. I have certainly had a fun time talking about this song. Y'all know I've had a fun time talking about this song. But part of what's fun about it is the fact that the language sounds weird. But language in the past always sounds weird. Now, sometimes it may or may not sound aggressive. It may or may not sound damaging. There's a famous sports headline about an outfielder pulling a huge boner in the outfield, meaning that he made a big mistake. But it bears repeating what is being said in this song. So let's go ahead and do our due diligence. We are nothing if not curious, folks. Let's indulge our curiosity. Baby It's Cold Outside is a popular song written by Frank Loesser in 1944. It's a call and response duet in which a host, usually performed by a male voice, tries to convince a guest, usually performed by a female voice, that she should stay the evening because the weather is cold and the trip home would be difficult. While the lyrics make no mention of any holiday, it's popularly regarded as a Christmas song due to the winter theme. Loesser sold the song for the 1949 film Neptune's Daughter, but previously he wrote the song for him and his wife to perform at parties. Now, the lyrics are traditionally divided in this duet into a mouse, quote unquote, the female voice, and the wolf, the male voice. There, the wolf's home, and the mouse decides it's time to go home, but the wolf flirtatiously invites the mouse to stay as it is late and cold outside. The mouse states that she has enjoyed her time and agrees at one point to another drink, but the mouse also says, "I ought to say no, 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 sir," and tries to return home, worried what her family and neighbors will think. Every line of the song features a statement from the mouse, followed by a response from the wolf, which is musically known as a call and response song. This is popularly thought to be rapey because of lines like, "Hey, what's in this drink?" and "Baby, what's the sense of hurting my pride?" What the criticism fails to take note of is the time that it was written, 1944. Let's just go ahead and say that while I don't consider myself the highest point of intersectional feminism, I think it's probably a universally agreed upon truth that 1944 was not a banner year for women's rights, nor for women's agencies, nor for young women's agency. What I imagine this song is, specifically if it's going to be sang between a man and a woman in that time frame, is we'd like to fuck right now. And if we lived in a world that would allow young women agency, or we didn't live in a town where our families were such gossipy fuckwads, then we probably would. But yet we live in this time and place. And that means that we can't just fuck for fuck's sake. No, 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 no. We instead need to apply ourselves to decent society. And that means, Mr. Wolf, no pussy for you. But, says the wolf, it's very cold outside. It's very snowy outside. It's dangerous for you to leave. Well, I mean, certainly everybody would find it to be nothing but a never-ending scandal if you were to leave, or if you were to fuck me for your own personal pleasure, but nobody would say anything. They would think I was a monster if you tried to make your way back home and then caught illness, let alone clutch your pearls, Grandma, had harm come to your darling head. Imagine Imagine the guilt and shame that I would feel and the rest of your family would feel. The anger that your father would feel toward me, your maiden aunt would feel toward me if I allowed you to leave in such treacherous weather. Huh. I mean, it's something that my soul simply can't bear, which is why I think that you'll just have to stay the night. And if that's the case, again, the reason why the man's power is so overarching is because he is trying to cast, in the parlance of Arrested Development, magic sanctuary on this decision. As Punk Eric in our Punker KC in our chat room says, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this dick. That's basically what the song should be called. So to assume that our female protagonist is a modern day woman is, I think, folly. Now, what is the onus of these radio stations when it comes to that? Did they have to have a disclaimer saying, relax, gang, it was written in the 40s? Can we please use this song as an example to understand that there has been progress in the way that women are treated in society? And maybe if we really want to get woke AF, that there still is a ways to go in terms of how we treat women in our society? Maybe this is a good starting point for that conversation. Oh, look how far we've come. Would you like to have a conversation of how far we could go before we all perish? No, we should just ban it. Fuck it. Not to mention the fact that how many other duets are there in Christmas song? I mean, that's probably the most famous one, right? It's a reason why any kind of Christmas, all these Christmas movies wind up using it, because at some point you need your man and you need your woman to sing a song together and boom, it's done. I think that we need to stake our claim on things that we don't want taken away from us. Tabletop Night says it's just a song until it becomes an acceptable mantra to misogynists. Who says that the misogynists get to take it? Fuck that. They don't get it. This is like, I refuse to let Baby It's Cold Outside become another Pepe the Frog. Pepe the Frog was just a meme. It was a normal meme. And then all of a sudden it became, because racists are using it. Nah. I don't want, the racists don't get it. Since when do the racists get to just lick their hand and touch everything? My germs. No. Number one, I don't know. Unless there is a hive of misogyny that is using this song as an anthem, an MRA incel anthem to trap the thoughts that dare squirrel away their pussies from them that I'm not aware of, then I don't even know if that's necessarily a problem. It seems like more of an invented straw man, Freudian slip, straw man. But I say here, we put a stand here. Hopefully, my friend Rebecca Watson, who is certainly more studied and pronounced in the world of feminism than I, your humble host. We were talking on Saturday, and she was saying that she wants to do a feminist defense of Baby It's Cold Outside, and I hope she does. And if she does, I will point all of you to it, because I think that she would make a better a point than I am. But I say no more. If a long-time dissector of Baby It's Cold Outside can come to the defense of this song, then I say that we all can. Baby It's Cold Outside is not misogynist. Baby It's Cold Outside is secretly woke. And Baby It's Cold Outside should be a yearly conversation that we can all have as a cultural family to say, man, what a snapshot of the past. Let's create the picture we want to live forever in the future. In the meanwhile, let's talk about Tumblr porn. You can send us your emails at jurydaily@gmail.com. Again, that is jurydaily@gmail.com. Anonymous. I told everybody I'm not super into Tumblr porn. Saw a lot of people upset about the Tumblr deleting porn thing and the female presenting nipples and the whatnot. So I asked people to just write in anonymously, and I would read it here. So we got a couple anonymous emails. While my main headline about the Tumblr scrub has been about porn, that's turned out to be a tiny fraction of the content that's going to be affected. For example, I'm lending technical help to a museum coordinator friend who's attempting to back up 32 art and history related blogs. Over 15,000 posts between them have been flagged for removal. There's also a sweep going through long-standing community resource blogs for transgender folks, sexual abuse survivors, and many general women's health issues. Tabletop Night says Tumblr removing porn has to be a play to getting it acquired by Apple. I don't think Apple wants any fucking part of that shit. Besides, the only reason why anybody would buy Tumblr is so you would have a place to sell advertising, and Apple doesn't. Apple's kind of distanced themselves from the ad sales game. Another anonymous writes, I was late to the Tumblr game, and I'm kind of sad to feel like it's being taken away from me just as I've really started to get into it. However, in the short span of time I've had to investigate, here's what I've noticed. You've got a few females that have fairly standard blogs reposting things that they enjoy or fall in line with their blog aesthetic, and will on occasion feel body positive enough to post a topless pic, felt cute, might delete later. And then, on the opposite end of that sliding scale, you have professional online sex workers that were using Tumblr as an advertising platform to entice people to check out their campsite. Or there are dark corners that are causing the flood of light that we're discussing now. Child porn, revenge porn, fappening leaks, etc. It's sad that these few bad apples are spoiling it for a bunch of guys like me who just wanted to enjoy the offerings of amateur Tumbloggers who wanted to occasionally flash the internet. If it helps, I'm a cis-het white male over 30, so the majority of Tumblr hated me anyway. That's a fair point. As Dennis Miller once said, I'm a straight white man. I'm everybody's asshole. Diamond Scoop writes, what's wrong with millennials? Canned tuna is great and so easy. Just put tuna in a bowl with some salt and pepper and some mayonnaise. It's delicious and easy, and if it helps, I'm 31, and I will fight you if you say I'm a millennial. Homie, I'm 35. If you're younger than me, you're way closer to the middle of that cohort than I am. And finally, Phil writes, I appreciate you giving me a new way to look at my terrible rental car experience. Thinking back on that weird era of my life, perhaps you can finally settle a long-running question I have had for 20 years. So when I moved to Austin back in the late 90s, I was socially awkward, a software developer in a town where I didn't know anybody. I was also 23 and pretty horny. As such, I was susceptible to ads for dating services. I encountered one such ad on a bulletin board at my apartment complex and gave them a call, figuring that maybe it could be that easy. No bars, no awkwardly asking people at work out. Just call this phone number and date people. It was an efficiency I could get behind. I called the number and they asked me some basic questions and then made an appointment for me to go to their office after work one day. So I show up and there's a waiting room, a couple of office doors, and one guy with slicked back hair. I'm then given a long sales pitch on a dating service designed specifically for busy professional people like me. They guarantee you 1 date a week, or more if you buy a larger package, starting at just $75 a week. And the girls, he promises, are all vetted and attractive. So here is the question that he's had gnawing at the back of his mind for 2 decades, and I need everybody to email jurydaily@gmail.com, or if you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/JustinRobertYoung, go ahead and leave a comment, just yes or no. Was that guy a Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to our producers, the Jed, PD Rave, Non-Specific Rock and Roll Marsh, and Joe Acosta. Whoa! Redneck Tech and James. High thoughts tomorrow. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of Baby It's Cold Outside emails. We're going to have a lot of Is That Guy a Pimp emails. We go through the mailbag tomorrow. Of course, you can be a part of it. Email jurydaily@gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Justin R. Young. And you can join our Discord at bit.ly/jurydiscord. Till tomorrow, though, is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, asking you to please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But more important, please. No. No!
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.